There's something magical about words. Not just any words, but the right ones, at the right time. Words are like seeds. Plant them in the right soil, with the right touch, and they grow into something unforgettable. Say them carelessly, and they blow away like dust in the wind. But when you choose wisely, your words can stick to someone's soul, echoing long after you're gone. They can be soft as a whisper or hit like a lightning bolt on a clear day. Either way, they leave a mark. Think about it. Nations have gone to war over words. Hearts have opened, walls have crumbled, and destinies have shifted because of a single sentence spoken at just the right moment. Words are not just sounds. They're spells. They're keys that unlock doors in the mind. And when it comes to the heart of a man, there are 3 specific compliments, 3 simple strings of words that can light a fire in his thoughts and have him replaying them in his mind all night long. Compliments that don't just scratch the surface, but reach into that hidden place where he dreams, where he wonders if he's really enough. Stick around, because today we're diving deep into this art, this alchemy of words. And trust me, you'll want to stay for this. Before we go on, do yourself a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs a little extra wisdom today. Help me spread this message far and wide, because these words, they're not just for you. They're for anyone ready to speak life into someone else. Now, let's get into it. Let's explore not just what to say, but why these words work, why they resonate so deeply, pulling from the timeless wisdom of Carl Jung himself. Number 1. I feel so safe when I'm with you. Let's talk about one of the most powerful things you can say to a man, the kind of words that don't just touch his ears, but sink deep into his bones. Imagine this. You're walking through a storm, rain coming down hard, the wind fierce. But then, someone hands you an umbrella, pulls you close, and suddenly, the storm feels manageable. That's what this simple phrase does to a man's heart. I feel so safe when I'm with you. At first glance, it might seem like just a sweet compliment, but it's far more than that. This is a declaration. It's a soft unveiling of trust. And trust is the rarest treasure in the human soul. Carl Jung once said, "The meeting of 2 personalities is like the contact of 2 chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed." When you tell a man he makes you feel safe, you spark that reaction. You transform the relationship in that moment. See, every man carries a silent story, one written by expectations. He's told to be strong, to stand tall, to protect, to provide. But the world rarely asks him, "Are you okay? Do you feel seen?" He walks through life armored up, even when he's soft on the inside. And this one line, this single statement, tells him that not only is his armor noticed, but that it's meaningful, it's needed, it matters. Now, you might wonder, but is it just about being physically strong? No, it's deeper than that. It's not about muscles or how much he can bench press. Safety is about presence. It's about knowing that when the emotional winds get rough, he's steady. When life feels chaotic, he's grounded, like the roots of an ancient oak tree holding firm in a storm. You're telling him, "I trust you with my well-being. I feel secure in your presence." That's not small. That's everything. Jung also taught us that the deepest parts of ourselves are often hidden, even from us. When you speak to that hidden place in a man, the place where he wonders if he's enough, you become unforgettable. You're not just complimenting his appearance or his skills, you're acknowledging his essence. And here's the thing, he might not even know he needs to hear it. Most men won't ask for this kind of affirmation. They're taught to carry on in silence. But when you offer it freely, you give him permission to breathe, to relax, to be fully himself with you. How do you say it? Timing is everything. Wait for the moment when he does something instinctive. Maybe he gently guides you through a crowd or shields you from the cold without thinking twice. That's when you look him in the eye, soften your voice, and let those words rise naturally. I feel so safe when I'm with you. Watch what happens next. His shoulders might relax, his eyes soften, maybe even a quiet smile appears. But long after that moment, when he's lying awake at night, those words will echo. He'll replay them, letting them settle deep into the parts of him he rarely shows. Because every man longs to be more than admired. He longs to be trusted, to be needed, to be someone's safe harbor. And when you tell him he is, you'll live in his mind long after the world goes quiet. Number 2. I love the way you think. There's something rare, almost sacred about being truly seen, not just for the face you show the world, but for the inner workings of your mind. And when you tell a man, I love the way you think, you're not just offering flattery. No, you're lighting up the quiet corners of his soul that don't often get touched. You're opening a door that, for many men, stays locked tight. See, most men navigate through life hearing the same kind of praise. You're strong. You're funny. You look good in that shirt. Surface-level stuff. Nice to hear, sure. But the mind, the way he puts ideas together, the way his thoughts connect dots no one else sees, that doesn't often get applause. And yet, that's where so much of who he truly is resides. Carl Jung once said, "Your visions will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside, dreams. Who looks inside, awakes." When you acknowledge a man's mind, you're not just looking at him, you're seeing into him. You're telling him, I see the spark behind those eyes, and it matters. Let's break this down. Every man, just like every person, carries insecurities about whether they're good enough, whether their ideas hold weight, whether their thoughts, their solutions, their dreams make a difference. Society doesn't exactly rush to reassure men that their intellect is valuable. It's all about what they do, not how they think. So when you step in and say, I love the way you think, you're breaking that pattern. You're seeing him in a way that most never do. Imagine it like this. A man's mind is a hidden garden. There are winding paths of thoughts, wildflowers of dreams, sturdy oaks of convictions he's grown over time. But maybe, because no one's ever complimented this garden, he's let it grow a little wild. Maybe he's not sure if anyone would care to walk through it. When you admire the way he thinks, you're stepping into that garden and saying, this place is beautiful. And that makes him want to open the gate wider. Now, I know what you might be wondering. When do I say this? How do I make it land? Timing is everything. It's not about blurting it out at just any moment. It's about catching that instant when he shares a part of himself, when he lets his mind unfold. Maybe he's talking about a passion project, or breaking down a problem he's solving, or giving you his take on something that matters to him. That's the moment. That's when his mind is open, vulnerable, sharing something real. And when that happens, stop. Look at him, not distracted, not halfway in the conversation, but fully there. Let your eyes settle on his. Then, let the words rise naturally. I love the way you think. Simple, clear, but powerful. Let it hang there for a moment. Don't rush past it. Give him space to feel it. And trust me, he will. Because compliments like that don't just skim the surface. They go deep. They get replayed. Later that night, when the world is quiet, he'll go back to that moment. He'll hear your voice, feel your gaze, and it'll settle into a part of him that maybe even he didn't realize was hungry for recognition. Jung also said, the most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. And when you love the way a man thinks, you're giving him permission to accept that part of himself, the part that's creative, thoughtful, maybe even a little chaotic. You're telling him that his ideas are not just enough. They're admired. That kind of affirmation doesn't just make him feel good for a moment. It nurtures his very sense of self. Because here's the truth. Men long to be respected, not just for what they can offer or provide, but for who they are. And the mind? That's the core of it. That's where his unique signature lives. So when you give him this gift, when you love his thoughts, his ideas, you're standing beside him, not just as someone who's there for the good times, but as someone who sees him. And that's unforgettable. He won't just think of you as someone who gave him a compliment. He'll remember you as the one who walked into that hidden garden and truly looked around, who pointed to the flowers he wasn't sure were worth showing and said, "This is beautiful." And that kind of moment, that lingers. Long after the conversation is over, long after the lights go out, he'll be thinking about you, wondering how you saw what others didn't, craving more of that connection, more of that space where he's seen for more than just his outer shell. So stay with me here, because there's more to uncover. These words, they aren't just phrases, they're keys to deeper connection, and we're just getting started. Number 3, you make me feel so special. Sometimes, the simplest words carry the heaviest weight. You make me feel so special. At first glance, this might seem like just a sweet, polite thing to say. But let me tell you these words. They're a quiet storm. They don't shout, but they linger. They seep into the cracks of a man's heart, the ones he keeps hidden even from himself. Think of it like this. Life is a crowded room, full of noise, full of people brushing past each other without truly seeing. But when you say, "You make me feel so special," you're pulling him out of that crowd. You're shining a light right on him. In that moment, he's not just another face in the room. He's the one who made a difference, the one who mattered. Now, let's peel this back. Men, from the time they're young, are told to be strong, be steady, be the rock everyone can lean on. And they carry that weight quietly, rarely asking for thanks, rarely asking if anyone even notices. Carl Jung touched on this when he spoke about the masks we wear, the persona. He said, "The persona is that which in reality one is not, but which oneself and others think one is." For many men, that mask is the provider, the protector, the steady hand. But behind it, there's a man wondering, do I make a difference? Am I enough? When you offer this compliment, when you tell him he makes you feel special, you reach behind that mask. You touch the real man beneath, the one who's been waiting to hear that who he is and what he does matters. Not just the big things, the career, the strength, the ability to solve problems, but the little things. The way he listens without interrupting. The way he remembers that story you told him weeks ago. The way he looks at you like you're the only person in the world. Because here's the secret. Men don't always know they're craving that recognition. They've been taught to push that need down, to keep going, to be fine. But when you stop, really stop, and look at him, not the persona, not the mask, but him, and you say, "You make me feel so special," you offer him something rare. You give him the gift of knowing he's seen, not for what he should be, but for what he is. Jung believed that healing and wholeness come when we acknowledge and integrate all parts of ourselves, not just the parts we show the world. When you offer this kind of affirmation, you help him integrate that hidden need to feel valuable, to feel impactful. You become someone who doesn't just take from his strength, you reflect it back to him, showing him that his presence leaves a mark. Now, let's talk about the how. Timing matters here. It's not about tossing these words out casually. This is about choosing the right moment. Maybe it's after he's stayed up late talking with you about your dreams, listening without rushing to fix anything, just holding space for you. Or maybe it's after he does something thoughtful, brings you your favorite coffee without asking, or texts you to make sure you got home safe. Those moments are golden. When they come, pause. Really see him. Look at him like you're taking in a masterpiece, not for the big, bold strokes, but for the subtle details most people miss. Then, with all the softness and sincerity you have, say, "You make me feel so special." Let it land. Don't rush to fill the silence. Let him feel the weight of your words. Because that silence, that's where the magic happens. That's where those words settle in his chest, where they echo long after the moment has passed. And here's the thing. You might not see the full impact right away. He might smile, maybe nod, maybe say something back. But later, when the world has quieted down, when he's lying awake replaying the day, that's when those words will come back to him, over and over, like a favorite song he can't get out of his head. You see, when a man feels like he truly makes a difference in your life, when he knows his presence lights you up, lifts you, makes you feel cherished, he'll move mountains. Not because he has to, but because he wants to. Because you've shown him that what he gives isn't just received, it's treasured. Jung once said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." And these words, this recognition, they help a man lean into who he truly is beneath the armor. They remind him that being thoughtful, being present, being himself is enough. So don't underestimate the power of this compliment. It's simple, yes, but it's a key that unlocks a deeper connection, one that leaves him thinking of you long after the world has gone to sleep, one that makes him want to give you more, be more, not because you ask, but because you made him feel like he was already everything. So, there you have it, 3 simple but powerful compliments that reach beyond the surface and touch the very soul of a man. These aren't just words, they're keys to connection, trust, and lasting impact. When you speak from the heart, you create moments he'll carry with him long after. If this resonated with you, don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more insights like these, and drop a comment sharing which compliment spoke to you the most. Let's keep spreading this wisdom, because real connection starts with understanding. Until next time, keep speaking life into those around you.